Hello, art appreciation students at Garrett College. Welcome to fall 2024. My name is Lacey Miller. I'm going to be your professor for the semester. At the beginning of every semester, I make one of these little videos. It just kind of breaks down what you're going to see in the class, what's expected of you, basically a kind of how to get an A, just like we would if this was a face-to-face class on the first day. So let's get right to it. Keep this kind of short and sweet. Okay, these are the learning objectives. So by the end of the semester, you will accomplish all of these. You will gain an understanding of different creative ways to express yourself. There's a lot of cultural information in this course. So there's a lot of like art history elements, and it's going to be kind of about recognizing different places and different values within those places. So this will be by the end of the semester, you will have accomplished all of these. All right, so I'm super proud of this. So you no longer need a book for this course. There's nothing that you need to purchase. The only thing that you will need is a computer with reliable internet access, YouTube access, and then of course Blackboard through the school. So nothing outside that you need to purchase, which is awesome. All right, so once you're in Blackboard, there's kind of, if you've never taken a course before, there's this like navigation panel over here on this side. And then in that, there is a course information area. The video that you are currently watching, which I email it to you, or I'm going to email it to you, is right here in the Start Here section. So that's probably where you are, or you're linking it from the email. In this course information, that's where you're going to find the syllabus, and you're also going to find the course calendar. The course calendar goes over kind of like every week what topic we're covering, what videos you need to watch, what discussion you need to participate in, and then if there are any tests or other assignments. It's all broken down, and then you'll be able to see underneath of it. It'll kind of be like Unit 1, the basics. That's where we're starting off. Okay, so there's also this like QR code there at the bottom. That's going to have information that is specific to the school as far as like Title IX and if you're cheating requirements, all that kind of stuff. What the school's not going to tolerate, what I'm not going to tolerate. So we're still talking about that course information section. You're going to refer to this pretty often because it has that course schedule in it. So here we are technically at the first week of class. Your first discussion is going to be due the 9th, Monday. Everything is going to be due on Mondays throughout the semester. So this is strategic on my part. If you make it on like a Friday or Sunday or Saturday, oftentimes students who work on the weekends, and it's kind of like there's just this little juggle that happens right there at the weekend. So Monday gives everybody who had a crazy weekend working and stuff kind of like that one extra little buffer day when they're getting back into the swing of things. And there's that switchover that happens. New work will become visually available to you right there at 12:01 in the morning on Tuesday morning. Okay, so that QR code had all this kind of stuff in it, like copyright stuff, syllabus change statements, policy on academic honesty, and that kind of stuff. But I want to make a special note for this class specifically. So this class deals a lot with cultures, it deals a lot with religion, it deals a lot with the values of people and how those values are expressed visually. That's essentially what art is. It's communicating the value of something or the devalue of something. So we're going to talk about a lot of things that might be slightly uncomfortable. We're going to talk about human sacrifice. We're going to talk about religions that you might not be familiar with or you may be familiar with, value sets, sexuality, atypical sexuality. You're going to see a lot of nudity in this class, just to be upfront and honest about that. But we are looking at these things, these difficult topics, in a in an academic setting, right? So we're not looking at them in some sort of immature setting or something like that. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as you're seeing things like nudity and those kind of things throughout this course. So just kind of to prep you. All right, so how are you going to get your information for the class? So there are a bunch of video lectures. So every test, assignment, discussion, there's one essay that you need to write. Everything is going to have a video lecture that kind of coincides with it. So you're going to need to watch these. They're not amazing, I'll be honest. They follow kind of this protocol. It's kind of or this template that you're looking at right now. It's kind of the best way that I can simulate a in-class experience of going to a lecture class. But they're there. They're pretty good. I'm not, some of them are professionally made and some of them are made by me. So just a thing to note is some of them may have a little bit of info in them. There might be something that like, make sure you get that discussion to me by Friday. And then you're thinking, Friday? Wait, everything's due on Monday. Just know that our class calendar is the final say. So if something's in there and they're like, this week you have 2 discussions and the class calendar says you only have 1, follow that. That is the for us for this semester. So just a little note on that. All right, so your attendance in this class, since it is asynchronous, we're all consuming this information at our own time frame. Your attendance will be recorded through the discussions, quizzes, and the one essay. You're expected to do these things. You have a week to do all of these assignments, which is more than adequate amount of time. I usually do not open discussions back up for students. If there is some sort of extenuating circumstance, the best thing you can do is email me. Try to email me ahead of time. If you know for whatever reason I've got some kind of trip I'm going on and I know I'm going to be out of Wi-Fi connection, can I take next week's test early? Something like that. Getting to me, and this goes for all your college professors, by the way, the sooner you let them know that something's happening in your life or something's going on, or for whatever the reason may be, the sooner you let them know, the better off you're going to be. Again, everything is going to be due Mondays at 11:59 p.m. And you have to do the discussions, just so you know, they're graded. Like, I don't know if in some other classes they're voluntary, but in this class, they're definitely a part of the assignment. Okay, moving on to the discussions. So discussions are not optional, like I just said. They're a category of attendance and they group together to make more than any one test. So they're worth 10 points. They need to be at least 100 words to get that full credit. And you need to be answering the content at hand. The rubric here is very, very generalized because each question is asking something different. Sometimes it might be asking for your opinion. Sometimes it might be asking you to define something, those kind of things. So there's not a specific rubric for that. They're all kind of clumped together. But yeah, you definitely need to be doing these discussions. Here is where you'll find all of them. So video lectures are going to be in these individual units, as well as the tests are going to be in those individual units, but all the discussions that you'll find are going to be here in this discussion section. So that brings us to our first discussion, which is going to be due Monday, the 9th. So it's like this week's a little bit short just because it's the very beginning of the week, but this discussion is a getting to know you discussion. You don't need to know anything about art as you step into this discussion because you're going to be talking about yourself. So I want to know who you are, what you are studying or plan to study, when and where in time you would go if you had a time machine, why you would choose this place and time, and then just for fun, how do you get your caffeine? Are you a tea, pop, soda person? Do you not drink caffeine at all? That kind of stuff. So just to get the ball rolling, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself to you guys. So my first name is Lacey. I just go by Lacey. Don't worry about Professor so-and-so. You can just call me Lacey. So when I was in college, I studied art. I got a art and art history for my undergrad, and then I focused on ceramics for my master's down at Clemson University. Um, so that's what I studied when I was in college. So when and where in time would you go if you had a time machine? I'm just going to pause on talking about myself for a moment and make a statement about this in general. Don't be that kid that's too cool for school. This is a art, there's art history elements to this class. So there is a history element. So give this just a little tiny bit of thought. Don't be that kid that's like, I just go surfing, so it doesn't really matter when in history I would go. Don't be that guy. Give it a little bit of thought. Where would you go? What would you do? What would you want to see? What would you want to know about? And then answer that question. So I would love to visit medieval Europe just after the Romans kind of pulled away from that area. That's something that we'll be learning about. It was kind of it was not the greatest time in history, but it was really a time when there was a lot of information being shared amongst different groups of people. And I find that really interesting, that kind of sharing of information. So, and then how do you get your caffeine? Just so you guys know, I'm a coffee drinker every morning. Gotta have cream in it. No sugar for me though, but not that not that anybody's ever gonna bring me coffee. So anyway, so you guys need to get this done by Monday. You can upload a picture if you would like, that kind of thing. Since it's good to put a face to a name. It kind of gives people, especially in this online environment, gives you a little bit of kind of visual connection in that way. Okay, one more thing. If you download the app to this class, there is something that's slightly misleading and the app has a flaw in it. This may be fixed by now, but it shows a running tally of your grade. So if you download the Blackboard app and you're looking on this class and you're looking at your current grade, let's say we've had 3 discussions and they're each worth 10 points and you have accomplished one of them. So it will say that you have a 10 out of 10, but you didn't do the other 2. So you're technically a 10 out of 30. But the way the tally works is it works as a running tally. So it's not going to show you, it's not going to give you a true reflection of your grade. And the alternative to this would be if you had done 10 out of, like, say there's 750 points, would you want it to say you had 10 out of 750? It would look like you were failing all semester. So this is kind of a breakdown of everything that's going to be in the class. There's probably going to be more than 13 discussions. This kind of varies a little bit. And like I said, they will add up to probably more, or definitely more than any one test will be. So don't trust the app if that's something that you download. It's caused students concern in the past. All right, so that's going to be it for my little spiel about the beginning of the semester. Email me if you have any questions. I try to get back to all emails within 24 hours. I think we're going to have a great semester, so I'll see you guys in the next video lecture, and good luck with all your classes. Thanks.